Biggest red flags.
And he was like, go handle Giannis.
Your first job in sports does not have to be your dream job.
If you would have told me 5 years ago I was working in hockey, I would have laughed in your face.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Milwaukee Uncut. We've got a great episode for you today on women in sports media with Grace, Sydney, and Kim, who work. Grace works for the NBA, has done a lot for Marquette and the Bucks. Sydney is with the Brewers and Kim is with the Admirals. So if you're wondering what it's like to work in sports media, some of their best stories, weirdest fan requests, biggest icks from guys who are on a date regarding sports, we've got a lot for you today, a lot of good stories and some advice as well for women looking to break into sports media. So covered the gamut. If you have not already, please subscribe to Milwaukee Uncut. We've got a lot of great content coming up. You guys ready?
No.
Yes.
Great. All right. Well, are we good? Are we rolling? Okay. Welcome back to a very special episode of Milwaukee Uncut. Women in sports media. Sitting. We'll clap. We'll clap it up for that.
For the women.
We'll clap it up.
We love women.
Sitting to my right, we've got Kimberley Bates, Milwaukee Admirals, Director of Digital Content, coming off of 4 beers and a monsoon from Pride Parade right there. Ready to go.
Brutal introduction.
Welcome to the show. And we appreciate all she does for the Admirals and getting those guys in here several times a season. We always love doing those episodes.
Of course.
So thanks for coming on. And we've got Sydney Gille.
Yes, you got it. Nailed it.
Got it right. Gille like Kylie. Okay, so she is the Senior Digital Coordinator for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Correct.
Did I get that correct, or do we need
Also
to alter
correct.
that? Wow,
You're good.
I'm just on a roll right now. Who I've never met before, but it's very good meeting you and appreciate the work you do for the
Thank
Milwaukee
you.
Brewers. So thanks for coming in today.
You're welcome.
And Grace Scalzo with
Yep.
the NBA, making her 10th-ish appearance on the show. Maybe not that many, but
Back again.
you've been
10-ish.
here. Did I see you roll up in Carmen Tenuta's Benz today
I
like
did.
a fucking boss
you
over
know
there?
what? Carmen's in Italy, so I'm going to do as I please. The Benz is mine this week.
Love to see it. Kim, let's start with you.
Oh gosh. Okay.
How did you get into working for the ads? The Cliff Notes version.
Cliff Notes version. Oh my gosh. I'm not a Cliff Notes girly.
Well, I know you're gonna have to. We don't have an hour for this answer.
Yeah,
so
it would take an hour. I started in baseball. I wanted to work in baseball journalism, which how I ended up in minor league hockey, I have no idea. I worked in the Cardinals organization for 2 years for the AA affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals in Springfield, Missouri. And I love baseball. I loved it. Like, I still love it. I think it's still like the main sport that has a seat at my table. But I actually applied for a job with the Brewers. I was just telling Sydney earlier. And the woman that would have been hiring me, just couldn't push the application through with HR, which is fine. Like, that's just kind of what happens. But the Cardinals and Brewers rivalry kind of had a hand in her saying, like, let's get you out of the Cardinal system. So she sent me the job with the Admirals. I didn't know a thing about hockey. I grew up in Iowa, and hockey is not advertised in Iowa. It's not promoted. I didn't know a single person growing up that played hockey. And I was very upfront with John Greenberg, the president of the Admirals, and my current boss, Charlie Larson. And I said, I don't know a thing about hockey. I know what a goal is, but I couldn't tell you how many points it's worth. I know you have to put a rubber thing through the net, and that's a goal. That's about all I knew about hockey. But I think they trusted me. They saw the work that I did with the Cardinals and found my way with the Milwaukee Admirals. And I just finished my 2nd season here and
doing a great job.
hopefully
too.
15 more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's great. It's fun. Hockey is not for the faint-hearted, that's for sure. I'm not used to fights on the ice. I still see that, and I have to look away.
Oh.
But yeah, that's how I'm here, and I love it. I love Milwaukee.
Yeah, you guys have a great fan base.
Really
Best
great,
in the
really
AHL
dedicated,
probably.
super dedicated fan base that I'm not used to. And like the Cardinals organization and baseball, they're one of the oldest teams, right? So you have the generational fans. But with the Admirals, I think it plays a part in our owner Harris. He loves the Milwaukee community, and it shows in our fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it makes my job really easy. really easy. Like I could post a picture of a wall and they would go all over it. The engagement would be insane because it came from the Admirals.
Kevin Wall, right?
Kevin Wall, the
exactly,
Kevin Wall.
exactly.
Yeah, that's the wall I
crazy.
would post.
Honestly, the wall picture probably go viral. So.
Go viral. Like, and the things I work hard on would not go viral. Like
so
that's
when you
the worst
see
part.
the wall picture posted, no, it was from here.
No, it came from here. Yes. Rooted in Milwaukee Uncut.
Absolutely. Sydney, how did you end up working for the Brewers?
Okay, I'm also not a Cliff Notes girly. I'm a big yapper. But long story short, when I went to college in Green Bay, I did a seasonal internship with the Packers for 2 years. I love football. Football is my first love.
Were you a Bears fan or a Packer fan?
I was a
growing up?
Packers fan.
Okay, good.
I have the
good.
photos to
from
prove
from
it.
Rockford. From Rockford.
Yeah, I'm from Illinois, but we just
You're from
omit
Rockford?
that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We
We don't like the Ice Hogs here.
We just omit that part.
Okay, good. Okay.
No, so I interned with the Packers for 2 seasons when I was up there. Worked all kinds of sports games in Green Bay. Got involved with my college. Did everything. I graduated in 2020. Don't know if you know anything that happened in 2020, but COVID happened. So pretty much everything shut down. And I originally was going to work in the NBA. And literally everything got shut down. Everything was put in a bubble. I moved home. And I decided that I'm really going to stick and be committed to wanting to stay in sports. And I worked so hard, all of my experiences in sports. I really pushed that. And the internship opened up with the Brewers. And at first I was like, I don't want to do another internship. Like I've done so many internships. I have so much various experience. I really don't want to do an internship. And at this point, I had been waiting a little bit too because it was COVID. So I was kind of just like sitting. I nannied in between to make some cash and to do some things. But I ended up taking the internship. It was amazing. I loved it. I learned a lot. And then the lockout happened. So when the lockout happened, I was not able to get hired on full time just due to the lockout. And I took a short stint at a marketing agency I was managing athletes' foundations. So I was doing that for a little bit. And then when the Brewers kind of got back on track, everything got solved in baseball, they gave me a call and been there ever since.
Nice.
Amazing.
You're doing a
Kind of a
phenomenal
crazy
job.
story. It's kind of like a lot of up and downs, but that's
sure.
just sports.
What were you gonna do with the MBA?
Social.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Grace, what's your life story?
Yeah, my life story. It all started May 7th, 2001, which I don't know. Okay, I went to Parkside Small D2 school in Kenosha where I played basketball. So just super big basketball.
Very well.
Family. Yeah. Thank you. I don't know. I'm
From
washed
what
now.
I've heard.
I'm washed up now, but anyway, happy to run fives with any mediocre basketball players out there. But from there, I like pitched my own credit to get credit for a class. I did Touching Base with Grace, which was like an IGTV live series. So I was like on Instagram live, like interviewing people, and that's how I got like my feet wet with journalism. Loved it. Loved social. Loved digital content. Started working for ESPN Milwaukee, right here in Milwaukee. Milwaukee made me. I feel like came to Marquette for my master's. Started to work for the Bucks, started doing Marquette basketball games, and then did a little stint at a marketing agency, and then ended up with the league. So I'm repping today. Proud MBA employee.
Come on, what are you, 6 months-ish there? Or
8.
more than 8?
Yeah. Put some respect on my name.
I feel like we need to put Milwaukee made me on a
Last 8
t-shirt.
months have
Literally.
flown
Yeah.
by.
Like Milwaukee made
Literally.
me.
Proud of you for getting that job, though. That was awesome.
Thank you guys.
Copyright that Milwaukee made me.
Milwaukee
Like,
made me, okay?
You need to copyright that. That's good.
Her merch comes out.
I'll buy it. I don't care. I'll do it.
What is each of your biggest starstruck moment working in sports?
I could start.
Yeah.
In the hallway of Pfizer Forum, I met Ray Allen. And
That's awesome.
and like, you know, I've met like Giannis and Dame and all these people that are amazing. But starstruck for me was like, wow, because I'm thinking like, he does, like, from what I know, he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. My brother has him on a fat head in our house since we were little. Like, huge, the whole wall is Ray Allen. So then he's here live in person, and I'm like talking to him, and he was with his son, and he's like, I'm trying to get him to go Ivy League because he hadn't started school yet. And now he's still he's playing now somewhere. It's bad that I don't know, but basically, just talking life with Ray Allen was like the coolest thing ever for me. That's my starstruck moment.
My starstruck is actually not an athlete. The nice thing with baseball is we get this thing called the first pitch. So we do get a lot of really cool celebs that come through. We had Snoop last year, and that was so freaking cool. Like, he's just such the chillest dude. Like, exactly his internet persona is him in real life. So he was like in the clubhouse, like signing every guy's things. We had like gin and juice blasting. He was just in there like
Laid
yeah,
back.
it was literally laid back.
gin and juice.
Yeah, no, that was probably like one of the coolest things. And like I said, like not to be like, oh, but I've seen a lot of athletes, met a lot of athletes, but like Snoop for some reason is just he takes the cake. That's like Unk, you know?
Unk.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. Like
God, I went to a Snoop concert. We were like front row Snoop. It was at the rave, probably in like 2007.
oh, I bet you he gave you the best concert of your life.
Oh,
too.
it was phenomenal.
The best contact high.
Got like
Yeah,
hammered in a
literally.
Marquette cafeteria beforehand and walked over to the rave way early. And he came out with like his handkerchief material pimp suit and like his huge chain and the whole entourage and just yeah.
And he like signed every guy's like whatever they had. If they wanted multiple signatures, he did it. Like he was so chill. Sorry, just whacked you. I'm a hand talker.
That's what I was like.
I know,
I
I
need
was
like
like,
range. I need to like practice
These are
like
nice
where my
mics.
hands.
You'll be good. Just don't like go like this and talk to people. That's when we run into trouble.
Okay, I'll make sure I turn
You
my
mean like
body and
this?
not my
Yeah.
head.
What about you?
Oh gosh, my first. This is like, it's an athlete, but it's not like a typical athlete. So I grew up a Kansas City fan. Like I grew up in Western Iowa, and so I grew up a Chiefs and a Royals fan. Real Chiefs fan. I don't want to hear it from. And I am a
It's
Taylor.
like being
I
a
am
real
Swiftie.
Bucks fan before they blew up in like
Right. I am a
Yeah.
Swiftie too.
2000
So it's like,
2020.
I will say like I was a Chiefs fan before being a Chiefs fan was Swiftie cool. But I grew up a Kansas City Royal fan too. And when I worked for the Cardinals, I know it keeps going back to baseball, even though I'm in hockey now, but when I was with the Cardinals affiliate, one of our like community like events managers was Scott Bales, who used to be with the Angels and the then Cleveland Indians, but now Guardians. And he was really good friends with Brett Saberhagen, which was like one of the household names for the Kansas City Royals. And he decided to bring him out for a first pitch. And that was like a childhood household name for me. Like that's like I fell in love with baseball because my dad and my brother were huge baseball guys. And I wanted to play baseball, but instead I played softball growing up. So when Brett Saberhagen came into the Springfield Cardinals office, I was like it was just one of those like hometown like my dad would be happy
Yep.
that I met you. Like he'll be mad at me that I met you over like before he did.
So we're going with two older guys and Snoop Dogg for
For
the
sure.
starstruck
Oh, yeah.
athletes.
For
I,
sure.
I like it.
It was
I like
crazy.
It.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about the media I consume? I'm just
Right. No, and I think it says something about like when you work in sports for so long,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
athletes don't starstruck you as much as like other like even though like
I
you know like
know.
celebrities are
Yeah.
celebrities, but
I
like
feel like
yeah.
I get like desensitized to it a little
For
bit.
sure.
It's because
Yeah.
you're like that's my everyday life.
like oh like you're like there's a guy that's like obsessed with Sal Frelick and you're like Sal like I see him every day. What do you mean? It's a weird phenomenon.
What's yours, Richie? Do you have one?
Yeah, what's yours?
Probably when Giannis has come in here a couple times.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it because of the
I don't-
height? Like the height that
No,
like
just because it's
starstrucks
him.
you?
It might have something to do with it. Probably because it's just him, and it was completely unexpected both times. I didn't know he was coming either time. So
You
like,
didn't?
You were just
You
unprepared.
just showed up?
right? Because I don't get starstruck that much at this point, but
Chill guy.
And he didn't come on the show. It's just because Thanasis records from
Yeah,
here. And
yep.
like, yeah, the first time when Bree was recording after a game with the Thanasis episode, he's like, I think my mom's coming. And then, which we were like, oh, cool, Mrs. Adedakumbo is going to come. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then he's like, someone's at my door.
it's a
and
family
this is at
affair.
like 11 p.m. on a Tuesday because he was recording after games because their schedules are
Yeah.
really weird, which you guys know
Yeah.
of
Yep.
very well. Like the normal 9 to 5 person, kind of like myself, isn't used to weird hours, but we accommodate when needed. And Thanasis has been good to us. So like, yeah, his phone's vibrating. He's like, someone's at the door, and I just go, and it's like Giannis in a pink Nike jumpsuit at 11
I
p.m.
love
just
that.
standing there, and I'm like, holy fuck, is this?
I
Like,
love that.
and
God,
then,
is that you?
And then he came on the episode, and we weren't prepared. And Bree's like recording it, who's not Cody, who's a legitimate, very good audio video professional. It's my fiance who knows how to operate the studio on a basic
Yeah.
level. And yeah, it worked well. Giannis grabbed a mic, and we were just praying we didn't get a call in like an 8-hour window. Because as you guys know in sports media, like sometimes a camera doesn't work or
Yeah,
a mic goes
right.
out,
Yeah.
and it's like can't happen.
And you
that
don't
one.
find
And
out
then-
until after it's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, and then the other time he just rolled in and like took a business meeting from the conference room
Yeah.
and I was
He's
just
like literally
sitting
such a
there.
chill guy. I've met him a couple times, and
yeah.
he's so chill.
That
like,
whole Thanasis is not chill. He's very animated, but like super nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like very down to earth for who they are.
Super genuine. But he has shade for aura, and that's funny that you say that because I feel like he definitely has aura. Like anytime I see Giannis or around him, even when it's just at the arena, it's like, wow, it could be the height, could be whatever, but yeah, he definitely has his own aura.
Well, he's probably, if you look at it on a global scale, he's probably like a top 10 athlete in the entire world from an in-demand standpoint, like what he demands for brand deals or access to him.
For
so
sure.
it's like,
the
wow,
first
this
time I
guy's
met
like,
Giannis, that was like, it was when we were in Phoenix for spring training, and they were playing. And we took like some of the guys to like go meet him, and we met him like after a game. I have a picture of him and like the guys, and he's like got his arm wrapped up in ice. He's got like a hoodie on, and like the picture is like, I think it was like Garrett Mitchell and maybe Freddie, and they're like, it's so funny.
I love seeing like athletes starstruck. I love seeing
Yeah.
that.
I will say a lot of our athletes were like, oh my God, it's Giannis.
That
like,
is amazing.
yeah, I mean, they're just like normal guys when
Yeah.
it boils down to it, and probably like they watch him on TV or grew up
Yeah.
watching him too, and it does make sense. What is you all's biggest slip up working in sports media?
It's gonna be something autocorrect.
Yeah, it's gonna be
something
typo
misspelled,
related.
Something typo. Like working in social, and I'm sure you can relate. Like you post to so many people, and I feel like in a normal job, if you make a mistake, it's not advertised.
Yep.
You cannot slip up in social. Like if you're posting something, everybody's reading it. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's like, oh, that's wrong. They're very fast to point out it's wrong. I was covering a game one time with Ezra, who also works with me in doing social. And we were like, it was like a crazy game. There was a lot going on. This was like a year ago, maybe. There was a lot going on. And we were like both working. I was like, okay, you're doing Twitter, I'll do Instagram, or we'll do Facebook, like trying to order to get everything out. And we were copying, pasting like the copy because we were both posting simultaneously the same thing on like multiple platforms. And I went to like paste, and I controlled C or something, and I literally tweeted like the clip with C, the letter C.
Oh.
And it was so funny because it actually ended up turning out really well. Like fans loved it, and like all the comments were like, C is for cookie, or like, you know, like it was so funny. And it did end up like doing really well. Like the engagement on that was great. I'm like, oh my God, it could have been something really bad, but at least it was just like C. It was so funny though, because we printed it out, and like we have like a little board in our office, so it's like printed and posted there, like
Wow.
C, and it was like a home run by someone.
So you haven't had any mistakes where you were like mortified after it went out and didn't notice?
No, not like that.
That's good.
Because usually if I ever make like a major mistake, we're fast to get it before it's like uploaded, or like real quick to get it. But yeah, no, nothing crazy. A lot of typos, a lot of like accidentally posting with like, I don't know, the sound might be on or something, but nothing exposing. Thank God.
Because with the Brewers, Ad's social content does it really well too. And were you ever running the Marquette accounts or no? Okay, so you run, and you don't run any NBA account.
No, but like if I post
public-facing.
an article on the website, like I
Yeah.
was just telling you guys, and I said draft pricks instead of draft picks. It happens. So yeah, typos for sure.
Draft
What were you
pricks.
saying?
You know what?
I was just gonna say, like, if you post something on the Brewers account and don't notice for 5 minutes, like you're gonna hear about it.
Oh yeah,
probably.
honestly, if I post it within like 5 seconds, you hear about it. Like
Or the
it's
ads account
so
too.
fast.
It'd be like
That happened with us with TikTok. Actually, a trend that I took from the Brewers
Oh my
last year,
gosh.
the spider
saw that.
spoof, where it was like a prank where like you open the box and a spider jumped out, and I literally like messaged them and I was like, "Where did you get this? We're gonna do this."
That was like one of my favorite videos I've ever filmed.
It was the best video. Ours, we ended the video with one of our Russian players, and he like opened it and he said, I'm not swearing because I'm not going to put the Admirals in a bad name, but he said the F-bomb in Russian, and he would not tell me what it meant until like it had 1 million+ views on TikTok. That was like one of our most viral videos last year, and it wasn't until it had over 1 million views where he was like, "Oh no, Kim, it means like the F-bomb," and I was like, I can't delete this now. And like I saw like some like Russian like users come like in the comments and they were like, "Oh, I heard what he said. I heard what he said." And like they'd like type it out and I'm like, "Is that what he said?" And I would text him and he's like, "No, that's actually what I said." He told me he said like, "Oh my gosh," in Russian. I'm like, I don't believe you for a second. But like I don't know what he like, but I can't spell it on Google. You can't spell like a Russian word on Google in English language. So it's like, how do I like figure out what he said? And it was one of our other players that was like, no, he said this. And I was like, well, I guess we just went viral for our guy saying the F-bomb. But other than that, like it's all been typos, or like I'll post like a corporate recap, and like I've got a million of them in my folders, and it's like I'll post like a game from the beginning of the season, and it was like April 12th. And I'm like, well, anyways, here's a recap of the October 19th game against Chicago. Like, and I'm usually good at deleting it, but like honestly, I'll just own it and be like, I am literally one girl. I'm one girl running this, running all of these accounts.
Those are hectic jobs. Grace, you're not. I mean, you're behind the screen now, but you're out. You've been an in-game host. You've sang anthems before. Any major bombs or slip-ups?
I was thinking of that.
Mind?
I was thinking of that when I was trying to prepare for this, because I'm like, what questions is he going to ask me that's going to throw me off? This is the one where I had this answer. I have messed up the national anthem, not the words, okay? Like the lyrics, I have them. They're ingrained. Like I got it. But pitching, like tone, pitch, off day definitely has happened. So apologies to the Marquette community. Thank you for still rocking with me, because there have been times where it's land of the free, but it was a brave move to be that tone deaf in certain times. So thank you for bearing with me. I've definitely messed it up. Yeah. But they asked me to come back, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I would black out if I did the anthem anytime.
I always shake when I'm done. I'm like,
I don't know how to do the anthem.
Do you get used to it?
Yes and no. Like I still will shake, but I'm go into it more confident each time.
That's a raucous atmosphere, especially some of those games you do where it's sold out and the Pfizer's. I mean, it's a basketball arena with that many people.
And it's like different because Bucks is
energy
like,
there.
People are still coming in as the anthem's playing. I feel like Marquette, they're like sat, they're ready
and standing.
Yeah,
they're not sat, they're standing. They are ready to go.
They're locked in.
Bucks they'll roll in midway through the first quarter. No one's there for the anthem of the Bucks game.
True.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think I could sing the anthem. I used to, when I was in college, I did everything like under the sun. So I emceed like our basketball games and stuff, and I didn't sing ever, but I did fall on the court during warm-ups, like in booties. And I was just like, and not only did I fall, I left like skid marks like on the basketball court. And like the assistant coach from the other team, I remember they were like running out of the tunnel, and as I like fell, and he was like, "Did you leave this?" And I said, "No, sir, I have no idea who left that." And I just got up and walked off.
That is not my job.
I was like, "No, sir, no idea." But I know they had that on film, because I remember they were telling me later, they're like, "Oh my God, we have our practice or like our warm-ups on film and we saw you eat it."
Did they send it to you?
Oh, jeez.
You gotta include it in a TikTok sometime.
No. I don't even know where that footage is. I hope it never sees the light of day.
They had the tape?
Yeah, they had it.
Oh, it's always the worst.
They got the receipts.
Reminds me of the time I robbed a duck from the Wisconsin Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
People
that
won't let you live that down.
No. I mean, the Wisconsin Sports Hall of Fame dinner.
Okay.
Have you ever been to that? Any of you?
No, but I'm familiar. Yeah.
It's long. A lot of those dinners are long. So, like, what do you do when you're at a 4-hour dinner at a table? You drink like seven. You drink like 7 Vizzy tall boys. They didn't have Wisconsin Blee or 3 Sheep, so I drank some Vizzies. And on the way out, they had these Aflac stuffed animal ducks, which looked really cute. And my dog like freaks out every time Aflac commercial comes on. He loves Aflac, so I just grabbed a stuffed animal as a gift on the way out for putting up with a 4-hour dinner. And then Carly messaged me like 2 weeks later, like, "Are you the guy who stole the Aflac stuffed animal?" I'm like, "Yeah, is that a problem?" Like, it's a stuffed animal. And she's like, "This thing's worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's for kids with cancer, and like nurses use it." And I was like,
"Oh man, I bet you felt like an asshole."
Well, my heart started racing.
The fact that
I was like, I hope my dog didn't eat this thing, because I got home kind of buzzed. I'm like playing with the stuffed animal and my dog, and like,
oh no.
Yeah, luckily he didn't eat it. I returned it, and we're good.
But people bring this up every time. I'm like, "Oh, I know Richie. Like, I come on the show."
That's what I'm known as.
Yes.
The duck.
The Affleck
guy. Duck thief.
The duck thief.
The burglar.
Sorry.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You should have some security around drunk people walking out of a dinner with a bunch of stuffed animals lined up.
You could be known for worse things.
That's a good
that's
a good.
true.
It was harmless. I had no ill intentions.
There's worse things you could be notorious for.
I was just trying to bring a gift back for Oakley.
For Oakley.
What are the biggest misconceptions about working in sports? either being a woman working in sports or just working in sports in general?
Yeah, I think everyone thinks that it's the fun job, and we do have fun at our jobs, but that's the first thing. Everyone is always like, oh, you have my dream job. Like, anytime I post anything, you have my dream job, I want your job, that's the best thing ever. And it is a really fun job. It has a lot of cool opportunities, but I do think that it is a lot of hard work, and people don't realize that. Like, with baseball specifically, 162 games, that's a lot of games. So you're working weekends, you're working long hours, you're missing any holidays. So I know baseball falls like Easter, Father's Day, 4th
And that's
of July,
not including
Mother's
spring
Day.
training.
Yeah,
for
and
you.
that's not even spring training. So
And
you're
all those games are in the evening too.
yes. So
basically.
you're missing a lot. You're missing baseballs in the summer. So you're missing like anytime my friends like want to do something in the summer, I'm like, no, guys, how about All-Star break? Like,
Yeah.
so I just feel like people are really fast to see everything and like see the outcome and see like, oh, they're having so much fun. And it is a lot of fun, but they don't realize how much you sacrifice to do what you love to do.
Because you guys are working like normal 9 to 5 hours for the most part, and then staying for a lot of the games to an extent.
To an extent. I mean, so we're right in the smack dab of like a 10-game homestand. So if it's a 7 o'clock game, I'll try to get in around 2 to flex my hours a little bit. But that's like not including like other events. So yesterday, Sal had an event at a coffee shop that I went to at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and then I worked the game at 6 o'clock. So I was pretty much on all day. So kind of just depends, but a lot of hours. You're missing a lot of weekends, a lot of events. I know for like football, it sucked because you're missing like Christmas. You're missing like those really big events. Thankfully, I don't work during Christmas. So, but yeah.
I did. I worked Christmas Day. I would say that was tough. But a misconception I feel like is there's two. One is like intent. I feel like sometimes people think women in sports like, oh, why did you want to do it? Like, do you even know what you're talking about? And it's like, I just love to be where the ball is bouncing. Like, I love talking about basketball. I love playing it. I love watching it, storytelling about it. So that's where like the passion stems from. Then the other misconception I would say is people thinking there's not enough seats at the table. So I got my job by knowing somebody that was a really strong woman in sports. Shout out Jenny Fisher. She's again, like she's not like we were talking about before. It's not the reason you got the job, but like without her, I may not be in the position I'm in. So like knowing that you can always pull up a chair for someone else, I think is huge. So yeah, misconceptions are intent, like questioning intent, and not enough seats at the table, I would say.
Kim, anything to add on your end to that?
I mean, bouncing off of that, like I've met more like, and like I'm so obviously pro women in sports, but I've met more women in sports that will gatekeep a job in sports.
Oh, 100%.
Than that is more supportive. And like it's been like a misconception, I think, is that like it's really easy to make friends. And maybe it's not even like a misconception, but like it's hard to make friends in our position. And Grace and I were talking about this the other night, like where like it's, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but like it's hard to make friends in our position in like our careers and in our cities because like we do have the cool fun jobs. Like we're not working like a normal 9 to 5. We have access to these really cool people. And what I've noticed in my first year here especially is that like people wanted to be my friend to get access to those people. And I like maybe that was my own like judgment that like I just had bad judgment for it. But like it's hard to make friends, especially with like we're working all the time. Like our seasons are opposite. So like I am working the day before Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving. We have a week off, thankfully, for Christmas, but we usually work New Year's Eve. And like we work Easter, we work, like we had a game on Mother's Day this year. So it's hard to make friends when I'm working 9 a.m. to sometimes midnight or 1 a.m. on any day from October to April. And then this season, thankfully for the Admirals, went all the way to the end of May. So like while we do have the super cool jobs that we can go to parties and family gatherings to brag about, there's a lot of baggage that comes with it.
Sacrifice, yeah.
A lot of sacrifice. And like the seat at the tables and like being friends with other women in sports is a lot harder than you'd think. A lot harder than you'd think.
I definitely think you're like, not only is it a seat at the table, but you're like oftentimes making your own table. Like,
for sure. Like I'll make my own table.
I'm like,
and
let me throw up my lawn chair.
Yep. I'll bring my little beanbag. I don't care.
Speaking of the access you guys get, what are the most annoying requests that you've gotten before?
Can I have a ball?
Yeah.
Can I have a ball?
Can I have a ball? That's like everywhere you go. Can I have a ball? I'm like, I don't have any, sorry.
Grace, don't say when I hit you up for Saturday Marquette tickets when the
Oh,
game sold out. I
no.
did that multiple times last year, and you came through.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
my pleasure. Yeah, again, Marquette. I feel like I've been really lucky. Like I said, Milwaukee made me. But like the people are always so willing to, if you work hard. Like I'm sure the Brewers would do anything for you. The Avs would do anything for you. Like I've been very lucky to have. If I need 2 tickets to a Marquette game, I can find them. For Richie, but
No one else.
Richie only.
No one else.
But I will say too, I don't experience as many annoying things now. Being like I work mostly remote. I really love my job, love what I'm doing. But when I was with the Bucks, it would be annoying when people would be like, "Can you get me an autograph? Can you do this?" I'm like, access for me is like speak when spoken to, work really hard, do what I'm asked. I'm not like gonna go up to someone and be like, I need you to sign something for my sisters, cousins, daughters, friends. Like, what? They're gonna be like, girl, are you crazy? So, yeah, I think just like understanding that we can't just go asking stuff.
No, I don't think people realize like it's not a good look when you do
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah. Also, that's like weird because I don't know if you feel like this, but I'm with those guys so much. Like, I feel like they're genuinely my friends. And like
Best friends.
a lot of those guys are like, I look at them like brothers, like honestly. And a lot of them are around my age. So it's like, that's weird. Like, I just feel like that's so weird to go up to them and be like, hey, can you sign
They
it?
hate to see me come in with a Sharpie.
Yeah,
Because they know I've got a favor to like fulfill.
I would say like, honestly, the top 3 things I get all the time where I see is, yes, can you have so-and-so sign this? Can you say hi to this? Can I have tickets for this, XYZ? And then I always get like random people who like maybe I've crossed paths with like once or twice, or like maybe I went to high school with them, who will like DM me and they'll be like, oh, it's my father's birthday. Can you put this on the scoreboard? People love the scoreboard.
They
I
love
don't
the
know.
scoreboard.
They love the scoreboard. They're like, can you put our names on the scoreboard? Can you do happy birthday? Can you do this? And I'm like, first of all, that's not even my department. I mean, I know the people,
do you
but
want me to jump through 11 hoops to
know.
get your name on the scoreboard for 3 seconds?
I'm like, I don't control the scoreboard.
I'd say like with minor like compared to actually major league level with like the Bucks and the Brewers, like minor league we have a lot more access and easy access to like the guys, and like if like anyone in the office is kids like is collecting hockey cards, right? And they want the autographs of the guys, like we'll for sure do it. Like the guys are so happy to do it. My biggest like I guess gripe is like when people will ask me specific questions about players' contracts or deals or something. And like, I'm not going to say whether I know or don't know because I'm not going to open it up to more people asking me. But it's like when I'm in social media, like you had like working specifically for the team, I'm not going to risk my job to tell you about certain contract like situations or something. And that happens a lot, especially in the minor leagues where it's like, there's so much up in the air, like especially at the end of the season where it's like, is this guy coming back? Is this guy coming back? Where's he signing? What's he doing? Are we going to get him next year? And it's like on top of the autographs and the, like, can I meet him after the game? Like I get that a lot of like, because it's not as serious as a major league level game where it's like the guys could meet a super fan after the game if the situations were appropriate. But the certain questions I get, because again, we're so close with the community, is like, I can't answer these things. So I think that would be my.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this question. Biggest red flags for guys watching sports or just still playing sports?
I thought you weren't going to finish that. It was like
Open-ended
biggest red
question.
flags
Yeah,
for guys.
ready to start.
Turn to page 6.
I mean, we can open it up.
flags.
We can open it up. We're all for Milwaukee red flags on this show. I know this is not one of our dating episodes, but we're all for it. I thought a sports specific answer would be appropriate.
Oh, I can give one from last night because I went to the Harp last night and I never.
Grace, I'm proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Let's go.
Thank you guys because you guys.
were at
And you were
Harp, too. I saw
at
you
the
at
brewery,
brewery, but I didn't see a
last.
Harp.
Were you at both?
I was at both, you guys, and I really don't go out. This is funny because I feel like last time too. Like this
I
is a
thought
real
weren't
occasion.
you out last weekend?
It was
Isn't
last
that how
weekend
this
when I
all
saw you.
came
I was
out?
like,
I'm getting my couple
Back to
summer
back?
couple summer things in. Okay.
I
it's
like
not even
never go
summer
out.
yet. You never go out.
I
We'll
like
go out.
never go out
We're gonna
because
go
I'm
out.
like, if I have free time, I'm gonna spend it like with my friends or my mom. But then I like get home and I'm like,
Well,
oh,
you're making new
I
friends
know.
today, and you should go
I
to
know,
the
I know,
Harp
I
and
know.
the
I'll go.
brewery,
Okay,
too.
so when are we going to the Harp next?
Yeah.
Next weekend. After this, we can go after this.
I'm harped out.
All right, Grace, what kind of red flag?
Okay.
You saw a red flag at the Harp. Who would have thought?
No, it's just something that I'm hearing. Well, I guess it was said to me, but I'm just overhearing people now, especially with it being close to basketball. Look, like guys will say, "Are you my ball?" are like, can I get my ball back? I'm like,
Ugh.
am I a basketball to you? Like, wait. And then someone was like, well, you seem like an indoor ball versus like an outdoor ball. I'm like, this has gotten way too, I don't know how to keep up with the names. It's just a red flag in general. If you have to like reach for like you're comparing a girl to a basketball, you lost possession, my boy. Like,
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, possession.
yeah. Are you lost?
I wasn't. I am lost. Is this my age?
Just don't call women balls, I guess. That's what
I never pulled that line out back in the day.
Just comparing a girl to a basketball. That's like a new thing. I saw it on TikTok too. I don't know.
I've actually never, like, I feel like I'm chronically online. I have not heard of that.
I don't know. Go to the harp.
Thanks for
Yeah,
making
no,
me
I'm
not
like,
feel
I'm
old
sitting
as
here like,
shit
wait,
I am
your
over
ball. Like,
Go
Maybe
to
he
the
had
harp.
one too many drinks and he was just going crazy.
I sure hope that's the case.
but he held off on the green tee shots. Like, chill out.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Richie's still stunned.
He is.
It's like,
here.
what?
Yeah, I didn't
Okay, let's
see
just
that
cut
coming.
that
I didn't
out.
see that.
Cody, just
No,
mark
keep
this
it.
minute to
No, I
the
think people clearly know. I don't
Yeah,
go,
elaborate.
I don't go
Can you
out.
explain it?
He was trying to hit on you. Right?
Yeah.
It's like a.
He was just like using a pickup line. Like, but he was
Yes.
trying to relate it to
Okay,
basketball.
a bad
Yes.
pickup
A
line.
bad like basketball
Sports related.
But if he
Okay.
says,
Line.
like, are you my ball? Like, what was like the next step? Like, what was like the next?
Like, can I handle you? Oh,
Like, that's what I mean. It's like, no, you can't handle me. Like, what is that?
like that's where I went with it.
Like, no, like you're with them. Like that's your ball. Like, not someone else's. Like, you know what I mean?
Man, these boys need to get more original. That's so lame. I'm sorry. That's the lamest pickup line I've ever heard. Like,
hey, it didn't work. So
I'd rather hear the 10 IC at a Tennessee thing like over that. That's so lame.
Fair.
I would look at them and honestly, yeah, no.
Did you go to school? Does that make
Yeah,
sense to you?
open the
Like,
schools.
Does
What?
that make sense to you?
Sydney, any sports red flags if a guy does something?
Yeah, I hate when they'll ask me about the players, which I feel like is the one thing I'm like, I'm not at work. I don't want to talk about this. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to expose or whatever. And then oddly enough, like the last date I went on, the guy was like, can you get me down Bernie slide? And I was like, what? I was like, that came out of left field. Like literally, he was like, can you literally left field.
What number date was this?
Literally the first date. I'm not kidding.
Blocked.
This is why I don't go outside. I'm just kidding. This is why I stay inside.
And he was being serious.
Yeah, oh, 100% serious. 100%.
Kim, what you got?
Don't like men. This is so crazy. Yeah, don't ask me about my job. Do not ask me about again, minor league sports. So like if they're Admirals fans, they'll probably be Predators fans. And they'll ask me about certain players. And again, like I'm not at work. I don't want to talk about this. Like I do not want to talk about this. Like not even because it's like them, but also just like I talk about this 12 hours of my day. Like that's the last thing I want to talk about. And I think also similar to Bernie's slide is like we have a human hockey puck at our games where we slingshot a human down the ice into quick trip pins essentially. And I have had somebody ask me like, how do you be a human hockey puck? And I'm like, well, you have to win a prize. I'm not getting you anything. Like you are getting literally zero from me. But again, I don't go outside. I don't I will not be the first person to tell guys what I do for work. I refuse to. I'm like, what, like, can I be an astronaut tonight? Can I be like a school bus driver tonight? I'm going to do something. But if I'm out with my friends, they'll be like, oh, she works for the Admirals. I'm like, you?
It's because people who don't work in sports don't get it. So they're like,
it's
oh,
so
it's so
cool for them.
And
it's like, I don't want to talk about it. Like if I'm at the harp and the DJ is behind me loud as hell, I'm not talking about this because I can't even hear what I'm saying. Like we're not talking about my job at the harp or the brewery, love you brewery. But like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Most people at brewery know what I do, but like, I'm not doing it.
What about red flags for guys when it comes to maybe playing sports, non-athlete guys or watching sports or gambling on any other things that are outside of asking for requests that you see?
People usually don't make it that far. I feel
Yeah,
like.
It's after the first interaction. It's like, all right, peace out.
Yeah.
I've always said like I can't date somebody that doesn't either work in sports or like work in like a similar field that has similar hours. There's just no way that like it would work. If somebody works a 9 to 5 and I'm working like a 9 to midnight,
I think like a non-sports fan, like they're like, oh, cool. So you do social media. So you only like work during games, or you only like post during games. If they don't understand like what goes into it, and they just assume like, oh, you're only working during games, like you're fine.
It's that TikTok trend right now. That's like I said, oh, I work in social media, and he said, oh, so you do this.
airball.
The
Yeah,
airball
yeah.
trend.
The airball.
I'm
It's
up
the
on
airball
that.
trend.
I've,
He knows
I've,
that
I've heard of
technology.
that.
And
I've heard
that
of
happens
before.
so much, where it's like, oh, so you just take pictures. I'm like, I actually don't even take pictures. Like I know how to work a camera, but I'm not the photographer. And that's like, I don't know, back to the misconception thing, but like a big red flag is like, you don't have the brain width to like
Yeah.
think about like what I actually do.
And everybody can spend their money how they want to spend it, but it's just not the most attractive thing ever to me if you're like, yeah, I bet on OKC tonight, and it's like,
Great.
that's awesome. I would love a fancy dinner, but
What's the
To
last
each
book
their
you
own.
read? I don't know.
No,
Like,
did you
have you
win
read a
that
book?
bet, or
yeah.
So sports gambling on random teams is not a turn on.
No.
I think talking about like, your parlays in general is just weird.
I think, sports gambling. My little cousin loves baseball. He loves sports, and he bets on sports. So when I see men bet
How
on
old
sports,
is your
a little cousin?
yeah. Well, I mean, he's in
like
college now, but he's little
of
to me.
gambling age.
Okay.
He's little to me.
Yeah.
You know, he's like the baby of like the cousins. So
Yeah, I call my baby cousin my baby cousin.
yeah,
She's
like my
27.
little cousin, my baby cousin.
So like
Fair.
yeah.
Whatever,
Fair.
but he bets on sports, and so when he's like so obnoxious about it, like if I see a guy doing that, I'm like, oh, so are you like a freshman in college? Like, is that like your vibe? Like,
That's so weird.
Something people don't realize is absolute chaos during a game.
I don't know if people don't realize this, but anytime like there's a home run or something, like obviously you're seeing like all the content and it's great, but I don't think they realize everything that goes into it. So like we're posting in real time on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Maybe we're throwing a YouTube shorts up there. And if it's a home run, and like baseball is really a weird sport where you could have like a really relaxed game. Maybe there's like one run, a few hits here or there, or maybe it's like grand slam, home run, stolen base, whatever. Like there's so much going on. And if it's like a crazy game, not only are we like rushing to get that content, I'm like trying to clip, I'm trying to get photos, I'm trying to think of copy, I'm looking, is this sponsored? Do I have to get this sponsored? And then I'm trying to beat MLB to get everything up. I'm like, oh, I want the engagement. I don't want them to get it up before me. So then I'm trying to like rush and like beat them. So like the other day when Yelich hit that grand slam walk-off, I didn't even watch the ball fly out of the park. I heard the sound off the bat. I saw the outfielders stop and turn around, and I said, oh shit. And I just immediately started like looking down and like typing away.
Where are you sitting during games?
I'm in the press box. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So I
That
have like
makes sense.
full vantage of like the whole game. But yeah, I heard that. I saw the outfielders, and I was like, oh, they're not running, which means that's out of there. So I was like, immediately started clicking away. Yeah, click, 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 click. So I just think like, and because everyone comments and they see it and they're like, wow, I don't think they realize or appreciate like how fast we get things out. So like,
It's wild.
yeah.
In the volume of
volume
that you
of
get out. I
content.
mean, there could
Yeah.
be, I don't know how many posts per game.
So if someone Yelich is his own deal, first of all. But if it's like a home run, like a normal home run, doesn't matter who it is. You have the broadcast clip of like whatever just happened. You might have a video of like from the field, like one of the videographers, one of the photographers is sending us like without like, you know, all of the broadcast commenting, just like the real life sound audio. You have photos of the home run, photos of the celebration. If it's a reel, if it's an in-feed post, if it's sponsored, that's another post. And this is like all for one
How many
platform.
pieces of content per game?
Oh God, that is like insane. Twitter is like lots of volume because we'll also be
Maybe
making like
100.
it depends on the game, honestly,
Yeah.
because there are some games, honestly, where we're not posting anything besides lineup and final. Like there are 162 games. Baseball's a
Today
long
might
season.
have been one of those. I'm guessing. I just saw
No
the
comment.
scoreboard.
But
For those wondering, the loss to the Pods
Yeah.
0-1.
yeah, no comment on that. But there is a lot of posts that go out. And then we're always doing, so I work with Ezra, who's my other half. He is really great at Photoshop. And so he'll be like whipping up like stats while we're doing it. So not only will we have like all the live content, we'll have like graphics going up. We'll have like random stats. Sometimes if like a writer has like tweeted out like a really cool fact, we'll like screen grab that and add that. So that's another piece of content. And that's like one platform. So then you amplify that by putting that on Facebook, on Instagram, if there's a TikTok going up, if it's a YouTube short, if it's whatever. And that's all in-game. And I don't think people realize like in-game is crazy, but post-game for us is also crazy if we win. Because we have all of that like recapped, and I'm sure you guys have the same experience where it's like if you're winning and there's a lot going on, maybe you have like a nicely edited video from the video team that's coming. Maybe you have like post interviews. Like it's so much.
That's wild. So like what time? So normal 7 p.m. game gets done around 9:30.
Yeah.
With the new pitch clock. Those are a little
I
shorter.
love that pitch clock.
That was a good
pitch
idea by
clock.
the MLB.
I love that pitch
Shout
clock.
out MLB
Dude,
for that.
Bree and I, like, we live in Tosa, and sometimes we just, like, randomly popping into games. So we'll just, like, grab a beer and pop in the third inning and leave in, like, the 8th to miss the traffic and have a couple beers at the stadium. I remember doing that. I think it was 2 summers ago for the first time. We're like, oh, great. We rolled in the 7th inning.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, the pitch clock is a blessing. When I first started working, we did not have the pitch clock. And now I think about it and I'm like, I do not know how I could have worked games without a pitch clock.
That was such a
like,
good idea.
Unreal.
So, like, normal 7 p.m. game, you're getting game ends 9 to 9:30 with the pitch clock. What time are you, like, done?
It depends on the game. So
on a wild game.
I was going to say like Friday or whenever, I think it was Friday that Durbin hit that walk-off.
Oh, yeah.
I was there until I think I left at like 10:40. So honestly, not terrible, but a lot longer than you would think. Traffic's cleared by then, thank God.
Yeah.
Couple hours later.
Yeah, a couple hours later.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. We were on biggest misconception.
No, chaos.
Chaos during a game.
Chaos. I
Chaos
can,
during a game.
I'll go.
And you have a lot of live. You do a lot of live stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna focus on, the live stuff. So being with the Bucks, my start with the Bucks was actually in live entertainment. So shout out to that department because, again, made me for sure. When I was interviewing for the position, they're like, "Do you have any headphone experience?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Like when I was a part-time producer at ESPN Milwaukee, I wore the headset, send them break, send them back from break, like how Cody is editing with his headset on, listening to stuff. But yeah, during the games, if you cue a host or if you're like the person that is stage managing the game, because games are like a whole production now. It's not just like people came just to watch the game and like, I mean, that's kind of why I go, but there's all the contests and things and what have you. So if you have that headset on, you are channeling like whoever's yelling at you in your ear, plus what contestants you're trying to gather, signing waivers, prizes. Then you have your on-air talent you're trying to talk to. You're making like sure they're in the right spot. They're staying where they're supposed to. And then you're trying to make sure no fans get in the shot, all while someone's yelling in your ear. And people might be stopping you like, hey, can I have a t-shirt? And it's like, I don't even know who I'm supposed to talk to right now, but copy. And then you go and do it. And it's like just the utmost respect for anybody that stage manages a game. That is like a different beast. And I will never do it again. But I'm grateful for it because it's crazy.
And then you have like the actual game clock. Like it's a lot of hurry up and wait. Like,
yes.
You hurry up and you wait, but the game, there could be a timeout, could be a foul, you could be waiting, or it could be go.
Yeah, literally. And then those 50-50 raffle guys always got my shot, you know.
They got to sell those tickets.
It's for the greater good. It's fine.
Kim, any chaotic things from you?
Nothing that hasn't already been said. Like, it's just like the in-game, like in the moment things. I think like we're in social media to make it so fans at home can live the game if they're not here. So it is like clipping the moment, especially if we win. I mean, in like super specifically the last few playoff games, I mean, we reverse swept Rockford in the Central Division semifinals. And it was an overtime winner, and that was crazy. And like I was down on the bench when it happened because our GoPro was messing up, so we didn't have the GoPro bench footage. So I was down on the bench getting the footage on my phone, and then I had my laptop next to me on our medical cart. So thankfully nobody needed any medical attention because I had my laptop on top of like the sutured stuff and like or like the things that like if guy gets a bloody nose or something, so I could hit like, hey, we're moving on graphic because I like kind of like you said with MLB tweeting it before you. There's one thing I don't like, and that's when like journalists who like aren't with the actual Admirals are tweeting things before we are or posting things before we are. I don't want them to say like, oh, we're like moving on to the next round before we're actually posting it.
Timing matters.
Timing matters, and especially when it's an overtime and it's an overtime goal. And so like I'm taking the video on my phone, like, and it didn't go viral by any means, but it got like a couple thousand likes, which I was like, that's crazy. I'd expect that, but also was like, whoa, Kim, calm down, bring yourself down to earth a little bit. Like, I don't know if you get that high ever where you're like,
Yeah, that's like the sports high.
oh my gosh, ooh, I did something good, even though it's not coming from you, but it's like I did that. But like it's chaotic, especially like the good games where you're like, there are games where you're just like posting. Hockey was different from baseball, where like baseball, you update like a stolen base if you like a really fast guy on the team that steals bases like every other time on base. Or like you post the home runs, but like hockey is like you post the penalties, you post the power plays, you post the goals, you post the funny ref interactions. At least I do. I probably shouldn't, but I do. So like I try to like make it less chaotic, but like the crazy playoff games are like, okay, this is like real life. Like this is what it's all about. Like this is what we play for. But it does get to be like, I don't even know what time it is right now. I don't even, I think I blacked out the entire time. Like, but I posted it all and it's good. I did my job and that's it. And then, post game beers in the office.
Yeah. What is one athlete each of you have worked with that you would let babysit your dog?
Oh, I'm saying Reese Hoskins for this one. I thought about this because we did a video shoot with Reese and his wife Jamie, and we were doing those like tintype photos. And he asked to bring his dog, and we're like, of course, like we're never gonna say no to a dog. He brought his dog May, and that was the most like well-trained, well-behaved dog I've ever seen. Off leash the entire time. We were like taking photos with like all these lights and stuff. She listened. He recalled her. She came right away. She was so great. So shout out to like Reese and Jamie, because I feel like my dog would definitely be in good hands.
Kim, you going with Kevin Wall?
Kevin, I love you. I would not trust you to watch my dog. I don't have a dog. I do have cats. I would trust, I'm going to go back to a baseball guy. I'm going to trust Michael McGreevy. He's a pitcher for the Cardinals. I would trust him to watch my cats any day. And he doesn't even like cats. And I would do it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Grace?
I also don't have a dog. I wish I did. Really would love one if anybody wants to share a dog with me or give me a dog. But
I'll share a dog with you. I'll share a dog with you.
Okay, yeah, we could split custody.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I would say probably Marjan Beauchamp, even though he's not with the Bucks anymore, because his dog was at every single event ever. Like anytime I was at the arena, I feel like his dog was at the arena. So I feel like my dog would have a good time.
That dog's getting press.
Yeah.
Favorite, that's a good question. Favorite moment working in sports?
Oh.
Mine is not baseball related. It's definitely Packers related. Like I said, NFL is like has my heart. The first game that I was at, and obviously this is like all pre-COVID, so it's a little bit different. We did like the ambassador lines. They used to do like where ambassadors would like come out and they would make like the human tunnel for like players to run through. So the first time I did that, and I was on the field for a national anthem, a flyover, and a sold out like Lambeau crowd, that like feeling in that moment is, and I always say this, I'm not married, I don't have kids, that's going to be a top 5 moment for sure in my life, and it's not changing.
For sure.
Like the energy was crazy, and I was also like, oh my god, it's so crazy. Like it's sold out, and you just like, the energy at Lambeau is insane. Like it's another level.
Mm-hmm. That's a special place. Grace?
So I was starting to work for the Bucks when they won the championship, so I would either say just that feeling of like something for the city, like Milwaukee made us. Milwaukee has the Bucks. Milwaukee won the championship, and hopefully another one soon. Or I was Giannis's like correspondent or guide during media day, and just getting that like one-on-one talking to him. Like I was like 22 and an intern, and my boss Dan Smichek, shout out to you, amazing.
Smichek.
He threw me and he was like, "Go handle Giannis," and I was like, "Are you talking to me?" So and then Giannis is like, "How old are you?" I'm like, I'm old enough to be handling. But yeah, so probably that, the championship.
Oh gosh. I've had a lot of little girls come up to me especially this past season, when they've gotten used to me like being the social girl for the Admirals, and I've had their dads like with them, and like they have taken like, I don't want to say like creepy pictures of me because they're not creepy at all, but they've like taken pictures of me like working on the bench or something, made them into trading cards of me, and had me sign them. And like we had a season ticket holder event where the players were all throughout the concourse. We invited our season ticket holders to come and like meet every player that they wanted, get any autograph that they wanted. And I was walking around getting content, and I had a lot of these little girls come up to me and say that they wanted my autograph. And I was like, I am just a girl. Like, I'm just here. But like their dads then, like, because the girls were really shy, but they were like they realize like they can do this without having to actually play the sport. And that was really big to me. And it sounds so little because it's like I think of myself like I just have a silly little phone and I just take silly little videos and post them on silly little social media accounts. But like little girls come up to me and they're like, I feel like I had like my Jessica Campbell moment, or like my, like Jenny Finch was a big, like I was in love with Jenny Finch when I was younger playing softball. And I was like, if I had Jenny Finch, like that I could go up to and like get her autograph, like I am nowhere near that level. But like these girls are making me feel that way, where it's like they can work in sports and like their favorite sports are for their favorite teams. And like, I don't know, it sounds so superficial and so small, but like having little girls come up to you and ask for your autograph when like I'm literally just a girl myself is like, man, it never gets old.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Final question for this episode. Any advice to younger women looking to break into the sports industry?
Yeah, I can start. I would say I think of defense when I think of this mindset, because you just have to be like a pest. I feel like another really cool moment for me working in sports is having the job that I have. I don't take it for granted, and I think that it's an amazing opportunity, and I'm appreciative of everybody that's helped me. But you don't get anywhere if you're not like a pest, emailing, inquiring, connecting, LinkedIn, stuff like this, meeting other girls in the space, like trying your hardest, because that's really the difference maker, who you know, how you handle yourself, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I have a lot to per usual. No, I'm just kidding. I think the first thing is like the biggest thing to me is like your first job in sports does not have to be your dream job. I think a lot of people get like hooked up on like, oh, I need to be in the majors, I need to be up at this level. Like you can gain so much valuable experience, network, meet so many different kinds of people, like not working at your dream job and like later getting there. That's like a really big one. Networking obviously is always like huge, because the sports world is actually really small. Like it is so much smaller than you think. So yeah, networking doesn't have to be your first job. And then honestly, like doing things that are out of your comfort zone. Like when I was applying, when I was at home during COVID and I didn't necessarily have a sports job, but I knew like I was like, I'm going to do a sport. I'm going to work in sports. I'm not going to take an office job. I'm not going to work 9 to 5. I want to work in sports. I'm going to do this. I was applying for like extreme sports jobs. I am not an extreme sports like enthusiast.
The rodeo.
I don't know. Yeah, it was like I was like, that's sports and I'm gonna do. I applied for like a boxing thing, and I was like, if I get it, I get it. That's cool. I'll learn. Like it. I was applying everywhere and anywhere. I was taking internships. I think I always get like college age girls who ask me this question, and I'm like, get involved with your college. Like you don't even have to be D1. Just get involved with your college and show that you can work with like athletics, and like you get so much exposure. Like when I was in college, I did everything. I emceed on the court. I was a game day coordinator for basketball. I freaking like emceed softball and soccer. I don't know anything about soccer. Like, like literally just get involved. But yeah, those are the big ones.
I'd bounce off of that and say like, yeah, I don't think you should work. Like, I think you should get out of your comfort zone. Like, don't go after your favorite sport. Don't go after your favorite team. I'm a big advocate for not working for your favorite team or your favorite sport. I think it'll ruin it for you, because you'll see the ins and outs of everything. And, like, you want to be a fan of that team still, so don't do it. And, again, bouncing off the dream job thing. Like, I thought I had my dream job when I was working with the Cardinals. And instead, I learned what my dream job was, because it was everything that the Cardinals was not. So like, I think you can create your own dream job, and like, you need to like plot out, like you have an idea of what your dream job is. Sometimes it's not like with your dream team or like with your dream situation. Like if you would have told me 5 years ago I was working in hockey, I would have laughed in your face. Like there's no way I'd be working hockey. And now I'm like, I will wholeheartedly say I have my dream job in the minor leagues. Like, just like you said, like you don't have to work in the major leagues to have a dream job. Like I love my life here. Like I think it's so cool. I get such great perks. I mean, our owner and our president take wonderful care of us. Like I will brag about it.
There. Yeah.
Like I talk to you about it all the time. Where like we just have like the best situation right now. And we have, even before I came, that like there's a reason that like more than half the staff is there for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So like I would say just keep your options open. Say yes to everything, but except do not say yes to an unpaid internship. You deserve to be paid.
Get the money.
Get the money. Do not take an unpaid
valuable.
internship. I will wholeheartedly advocate for that. But yeah, just like I don't know, trust yourself, trust like ask questions, network. Do not be afraid of sending those LinkedIn messages. And I think about that, like, and I'm the one, it's crazy that like we're the ones getting the LinkedIn messages now because we used to be the ones sending those LinkedIn messages. And I have to remind myself every time I get 20 in a day that it's like, oh, it's so annoying. But it's like, no, I was that girl sending those. So like, and I want to be the girl helping. I'll always go out on a limb for like a girl that I don't even know. That's like, if you want to job shadow me, come job shadow me. Like I have the availability to like, you can come shadow me for a day. Like that's okay.
I've had a lot of job shadows. I'm always saying yes.
I will always say yes to anybody job shadowing me because it's like, thankfully, like I learned that I wanted to work in a front office because I took a front office like summer ball, like wood bat league job or internship in 2019. Otherwise, I thought I wanted to work in like a network, but ask questions, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, no, that's great advice to anyone. Just reach out. The worst someone can do is not answer.
Right.
Usually,
Shoot me a LinkedIn message.
Sometimes you need to send 20 to get one. and
Unless
that-
you're
and
sending
that
me a
one can
DM.
change things.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, no DMs, LinkedIn only.
Well, thank you all so much for coming on today.
Thanks for
Great.
having
Thanks
us.
for
This
having
was
us.
fun.